Hey, it's ODB, the Lincoln Addict, back with another quick video. In this video, I'm going to break down a couple of the recent sales, including a car that I did a deep dive on, as well as a quicker video to kind of discuss what I thought it was going to sell for. So, I do want to say, although I am the Lincoln Addict, I typically wear this hat. I am wearing my California Angels to match. Shout out to Mob Steel. They, of course, produce the Detroit steel wheels, which big fan of their company, made in the USA. So, with that being said, what I'm going to do is share my screen, and we're going to jump over to bring a trailer. Now, again, I'm going to try to keep this video a little bit shorter and start back with the 63 Lincoln Continental convertible that sold not that long ago. So I was out at Lone Star Throwdown, a big car and truck show in Texas, and on 222, you can see here, this car sold for $132,000. Now I had to go back and look at my video. My guesstimate was 120 to 135,000, and it came right spot on. Now it's not always easy to guess the prices of these cars because they can be all over the map. You can see them go for a lot at Barrett Jackson and Mecum, and then you can have one that kind of just, doesn't necessarily fall flat, but it just kind of comes in at a reasonable price. This one, of course, I posted in social media. Many people chimed in and said, well, it's not worth that, so on and so forth. Everyone's going to have their opinion, and that's fine. But really, if you go back and you watch some of my videos, I did a longer and a shorter version, you'll get a chance to see why I thought it would sell for that much. Typically these cars, when you purchase them, they often need something, right? More often than not, they need everything. If they've been sitting a long time and whatnot. So certainly for someone to kind of come in and get a car that's had a lot done to it, and for it to be as nice as it is, they were willing to pay $132,000 for it. Next, I don't cover the Mark IIs very often, but because it's here, I'll mention it. This 57 Continental Mark II, not to be confused with a Lincoln Continental. That's a whole other video down the road. But this 57 Mark II sold for $40,500. These are often regarded as some of the most beautiful cars ever built. People say that as well about the 61 Lincoln Continental and some of the 60s Lincolns. Everyone kind of has their favorites, but the folks from this era know that this was a very high-priced car, and again, not to go too far down that bunny trail, but 50 comments and at $40,500. Now, in addition to that, you have a 67 Lincoln Continental sedan. This one sold for $60,000. We are continuing to see the prices on the 66 and up, kind of what I refer to as the 66 through 69 model. They're very similar in many ways, but we're starting to see those prices continue to climb. In the past, a 66 and up sedan, you could get them for a very reasonable price. This one, if you take a look here, it's got a custom center console, factory drivetrain, kind of what you would expect underneath it. But it just has the look that a lot of people, whether you like it or not, are going for. The lowered stance, the Detroit steel wheels on it, the smoothies, if you will, and so on. So to me, a very strong price for a 67 sedan with a factory drivetrain. So there is that one as well. Now, what I wanted to mention, as well as those recent sales, the 66 sedan. So speaking of the 66 and up, this car, I'll possibly do a deep dive video on it. For anyone that's looking, you've got a really nice looking car here with a little bit of custom stuff, the center console, the kick panels, if you will, the speaker pods. But this one, again, kind of has what many people are often doing to these cars, a little bit lowered stance, possibly a Diamondback white wall tire. Diamondback Classic is a tire that I have on my Lincoln. Many people decide to run it. I could tell that's what this is. And you got the Detroit Steel Wheel Co. wheels. You've got the star on the front fender, so we could tell that's a 66. So I'll be watching that one patiently. This 65 sedan, these typically don't come up on Bring a Trailer. It's more of what they're referring to as a project car. And I briefly looked at this last night. I started reading some of the comments, and this is a car that if you were looking to possibly get in and you want to have a custom Lincoln and you're looking to do a resto mod or just looking to get in at a lower price point. It comes with a good amount of parts from what I can kind of tell. You've got a deep offset wheel in the back. You can see that lip, if you will. It's a 65, which many people agree. These are beautiful cars. Again, it's going to come with some baggage, right? And I'm not going to do a deep dive here, as I mentioned, but you would have to kind of go through and look at some of the comments. You'd have to look at, what comes with it, the air suspension, and things like that. I think he even makes a comment that it's not his favorite trunk setup. You can see there's a lot going on here, certainly with the copper hard lines, the air tanks, the air management, which are the air valves and whatnot. But certainly there's a good amount of comments going on it so far. And that's one potentially that if someone wanted to get in maybe at a lower price point and get a whole stack of parts with it, and you could put it over the finish line, I think that's one that would certainly potentially be a winner for some people. So with that being said, I just want to thank you for the continued support. Don't forget to go to, which I'm going to type it in here now before I jump over, LincolnAddict.com. You can find a few things I have for sale. I'm almost out of the shirts, so I'm probably going to take them down very soon because I sold a few at Lone Star Throwdown. But you can go to LincolnAddict.com and How to Listen. There's a bunch of links there, and the key thing is there that you can find ways to listen. If you're a podcast listener, pretty much on any platform, just search 2 words, Lincoln Addict. You will find the podcast. Please click follow and or subscribe, and it's free. And of course, I'm doing episodes now in video, so those batch over to YouTube, as well as some of the audio episodes are available right here on YouTube. So please subscribe, stay on the rise, and thank you for the support, ODB. I approve this message. We're out of here.